Welcome to Lesson 12, the Capstone. Remember the OOP cart we built way back in the object-oriented series? Order, line item, totals, validation. Same domain, but this time it ships as a real production REST API, with every concept from lessons 1 through 11 woven in. SQLModel persists it, Pydantic validates it, Depends injects sessions and the current user, JWT secures it, BackgroundTasks send the emails, pytest proves it works, and a multi-stage Docker build puts it on the wire. After this lesson, you don't just understand FastAPI, you can build with it. 4 pillars hold this build up. The domain is the same cart, order, and line item you already know, now backed by SQLModel tables in PostgreSQL. Auth is a JWT from post, token, with an ownership check on every cart endpoint. Async work, confirmation emails, Stripe webhooks, fan-out reads, runs without blocking, and the ship pipeline is pytest plus a multi-stage Dockerfile brought up with one command, docker-compose.yml. Here's the layout that holds it all together. Inside app, each file has one job. Main wires up FastAPI and lifespan. Models and schemas split your database shape from your API shape. Deps and auth centralize the things every route needs, and the router's folder splits endpoints by domain, auth, cart, checkout. Tests live right next to the app, not stranded at the repo root. 12 files. Every one of them traces back to a lesson you've already finished. Open models.py and you're looking at an old friend. Remember the OOP cart from earlier lessons, an order holding a list of line items, totals rolling up from the items themselves? That same shape is right here, just with table, true bolted on so it actually persists. Foreign keys wire user to order to line item, user ID gets an index for fast lookups, and the password field points straight back to the bcrypt work from lesson 9. A production-grade schema in 18 lines. And here's the capstone. 1 handler, 8 lessons. The CartCreate and CartRead schemas come straight from Pydantic in Lesson 3. The decorator's response model is Lesson 6. Then look at the signature. CartCreate validates the body, current user folds in depends, and JWT auth from 7 and 9, session dep gives you the database from 8, and BackgroundTasks defers the confirmation email from Lesson 10. Build the order, commit, queue the email, return in 50 milliseconds. Every concept, woven into one shippable endpoint. Now scale that pattern to a real payment flow. Step 1. The user hits checkout. We verify they actually own the order. That's the 403 from Lesson 9. Then we await Stripe's API, which is exactly why we went async in Lesson 10, and hand back a hosted URL. Step 2. Stripe calls our webhook. We mark the order paid and queue invoice generation as a background task. Ownership, async IO, deferred work, 3 lessons, 1 production-grade e-commerce loop. And here's the proof it actually works. The auth.py client fixture from Lesson 11 does the heavy lifting. It spins up a real user, overrides getCurrentUser with a lambda, and tears the override down on exit. The happy path posts to cart, asserts the 201, and reaches into the session to confirm the row really landed with the right user.id. Below it, the sad path catches an empty items array. That's the pedantic min-length validation from Lesson 3, still earning its keep. Tests passing is the floor, not the ceiling. 6 habits separate a finished lesson from something you'd actually trust with real money. Idempotency keys stop Stripe from charging twice when its webhook retries. An audit log table saves you 6 months later when a customer disputes a charge. Optimistic locking with a version column kills lost rights when 2 tabs edit the same cart. Alembic replaces create all from Lesson 8 because prod needs reviewable, reversible migrations. Sentry plus structured JSON logs turn a 3 AM page into a stack trace and a retry button. And SlowAPI plus a WAF keep the door from getting kicked in. Before we close, here's the whole series on one page. root path param model. That's lessons 1 through 3, the request lifecycle. 4 through 6 layer in every input source, full CRUD, and response models that stop your database from leaking out. 7 through 9 give you dependency injection, a type-safe ORM, and JWT auth. 10 and 11 make it non-blocking and ship-ready. Print this, pin it above your desk. 12 is the only box left, and it's yours. Before you ship, 5 traps to rehearse. 1. Wrap multi-step writes in a session, begin block, or a mid-flight crash leaves you with half an order. 2. Add select and load to your cart list, or 50 orders becomes 51 queries. 3. Always verify Stripe signatures. Never trust a raw webhook. 4. Don't store card numbers, store tokens, and your PCI scope shrinks to a single page. 5. Run migrations as a pre-deploy step, not at app startup, or 2 pods will race your schema into corruption. With the traps rehearsed, here's your capstone. 3 deliverables, no spectating. First, wire the full app. Directory tree, models, schemas, deps, auth, and the auth and cart routers. Copy straight from lessons 3, 7, 8, and 9. They were designed to compose into roughly 250 lines of Python. Second, test and dockerize. A conf test with engine, session, and authed client, the 4-path cart test, multi-stage Dockerfile, compose up green. Third, ship it. Public repo, README with screenshots, GitHub Actions running pytest and Docker build, then post the link. That repo is your portfolio. And that's the series. Foundations, Daily, Advanced, Professional, and now Grad. Push to Origin, watch CI go green, and your Docker image ships with docs live for the world to read. 12 lessons, 1 working API, your name on the repo. Go build something with it. I'm Laszlo at dargsland.com. See you in the next series.